All right, today guys, we are going to change pace a little bit. We're going to get away from Farmer Chris for a change and go back and do some ICF work, kinda, sorta. So as you guys heard me mention in the last ICF video, which was, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 months ago now, kind of turning the reins over to my buddy Matt. We just do not have the crew or the time to manage some of these bigger ICF jobs. And I still enjoy doing it. I still enjoy being part of it. I want to continue. So Matt said, hey, throw me in, coach, and let me take over some of these. So we're going to give him a hand and coach him along and kind of let him take over some of our ICF duties. And we'll probably still do a few along the way. We're not completely walking away from it, but Matt has actually purchased all the plumb wall braces that we were using, we were demoing. And these are now going to be his. I believe they're going to make some new M&R logos from one end, keep the Dirt Perfect logos on the other end. So I'm really excited about this because Matt owns them and I still get to use them. So works out pretty good for DP. So this particular project we're going to tackle today is actually it's up by Louisville, Kentucky. It's almost an hour and 10 minutes from the shop here, and we got the dozer loaded up. We got the excavator loaded, hauled in there yesterday, and this is ICF left over from different jobs. We need to get it hauled up there and on the job site for Matt. The plan is we're gonna dig the basement. My Matt is gonna stick behind and kind of help Matt stack it out. I will probably go up there and help pour and get a video over that. But first things first, we need to get some block load and hit the road. All right, guys, we are loaded down, strapped down, ready to go. Famous last words, right? We got about an hour, probably over an hour trip. Most of it's interstate. I'm not gonna bore you guys with that, so why don't you guys just do a little bit of time warps and we'll meet you there. Nice little scenic drive this morning, and we have made it. You guys look up over the hill there, you can probably see the Volvo. They have definitely got a little bit more rain here than what we got at home. It's a little bit slimy on top. Come on, truck, you gonna make it or not? A little bit slimy on top, but I don't think it's gonna be enough to keep us from, I don't think it's gonna be enough to keep us from digging the basement this morning. At least I hope not. We'll get up here, get unloaded, and get us a plan. Now that we're unloaded and ready to roll here, let me kind of give you guys a little bit of a lay of the land of what the plan is. So the homeowner actually does have a high lift over the hill over there. He's been doing a little bit of a work himself. The ultimate goal is, I believe he wants to have a pole barn shop here. Imagine the house there. Then on the far side of the house where the excavator is at, we're going to take the spoils out of the basement, kind of build that up, and try to make this as much as one level area as possible. I don't know if you guys can see out there, but we are way up on top of a hill on a ridge. There's just an absolutely awesome view out through there. So flat area is a premium up here. So the more flat area we can make, the better off he's going to be. He's got plenty of room to work with here. So whatever we can do to help him out, we're going to do. So with that being said, this is kind of what he's considering the base grade for the lot. We set the laser up over there, shot an elevation. This is kind of the where'd it go? We have a picture. Yes, we have a picture. Hold on, wrong picture. All right, here's the print. So we got a 10-inch footer. We basically got 10'6" walls. The floor system is 2 inches below that. Long story short, from the bottom of the footer to the top of the floor, we got 134 inches. So basically we shot our benchmark elevation out there, raised the receiver on the laser 134 inches. That gave us a bottom of the hole depth. We went down over the hill. I'm not going to walk down there, it's kind of in the weeds now. We actually got a daylight line. A daylight line basically means where the elevation is going to come out and the grade is going to continue to fall off. Got a daylight line down there, so we kind of know where to start digging at. The majority of the dirt is going that way. So basically, I believe what we're going to do, we're going to come in here with the excavator, start digging this one back. See the corner post up there? Start digging that one across. We're going to let Matt do what he can to keep the dirt out of our way, kind of get our outside perimeter somewhat established, and then we'll start hogging out the middle. So let's get the machine fired up and go work. Oh! Get this beast woke up. No go. I might have turned the disconnect off. Hold on. Take two. There we go. She's alive. I'm going to straddle this stake here and kind of get myself walked down in here. I believe I'm going to grab some random dirt, throw underneath this track over here. Especially if you guys are digging these sidewalls, the leveler you can keep the machine, the better quality sidewall you're going to end up with. Just got to throw a little bit of dirt up here and walk out on it. Should kind of help keep me leveled up a little bit. This way is not going to matter as much as what this way is right now. You guys can see Matt out there. He's basically telling me that's where daylight grade reaches or comes out at. I don't need to get all the way to it exactly because we'll have the dozer down here. We can kind of fine tune that very edge of the dozer. I want to get close enough we can just back up with the dozer and push it out. Hang on, there we go. We're going to start in about right here with our dig. See what that gets us. Go ahead and check out there, man. And then go down. Different looking dirt up here. Down. that's close. All right, so I'm gonna rake. Looks like raking this edge back, keep stuff from caving in on the guys. And we'll work our way back. This first pass, it don't have to be perfect on grade, because you're gonna come back and end up tweaking it later. But you definitely want to get it close because it makes for a good reference. Moving on back. Got my line there. I'm going to go about 1/3, 2/3 on the bucket. That'll ensure we have that line actually represents the wall of the house or the wall of the basement. We got to over dig that enough for room to work, and make sure we got plenty of room for the footer. Our goal is usually around 18 to 20 inches. Some guys like a little more, and sometimes they go a little more depending on the dirt. Let me dig back through here, and I'll kind of show you what we got when we get to the end of this run here. Got this first pass dug back through here, guys, and it'll kind of show you the importance of having that machine level. If you guys can notice, this bank is sloping this way, which is going to be the wall, which is what we want, and this bank here is sloping this way, which means it has a higher probability of falling over. So that's why I kind of threw that dirt in front of those tracks to get those banks sloping the right way. I kind of talked about how it was important to keep it level. This dirt up here, we've dealt with this dirt before. It is nasty, and it is unstable, to say the least. That's kind of why we dug this extra deep notch in here, and I still may even come back and pull that back even a little bit more to make sure we don't have any major cave-ins or major issues. If we do, the other thing we're going to do is we're probably going to over dig this basement big enough that if something does cave in, it won't immediately affect us and we can get her dipped out. But from here, where we're going to go, we're going to turn the corner and do the same thing going that way, get that line down through there established. Matt's actually going to hop on the dozer, and we're going to start pushing this dirt out over the hill over there. That dirt there we threw up, we think that's about what we need to level up where the pole barn's going to be. So step. Alright, got myself repositioned here, kind of did the same thing, got a little bit of dirt underneath the right tracks to level me up just a tad bit. The rest of it we're going to throw out. Hopefully get it out here far enough back and get it with the dozer. The question's going to be whether or not he can keep up yet. We all know Matt's no Jerry, but he's definitely getting better on the dozer. He can at least hold his own a little bit, so we'll see what happens. This dirt does dig pretty good. It just, I don't know, it don't stick together very well. Bigger ledge in here. This right here is the deepest corner of the basement. cleaned up just a tad. Got a little bit of dirt underneath this track. I'm here rocking back and forth, driving me crazy. There we go. Got it. All right, let me dig down through here a little bit, gotta see where we're going. I'll check back in. Well, Mr. Millennial, I'll have to give you a little bit of credit.
NYA Millennial.
No, Mr.
NYA Millennial.
Mr. Millennial.
Oh, good.
So, look at it. The homeowner even showed up. He's competing with his GoPro over there.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
This
Competition.
Analog version.
Yeah, look, we got to show him. He brought an antique. Have you guys seen one of these? Apparently that's a GoPro. Is it recording?
I picked it up at the most awesome flea market.
But anyways, we got this line set, that line set. Everything's pretty much on grade. Matt's actually kept the dirt out of the way. We're gonna set over. I gave you a compliment. Take it and run.
Well, I'm just looking at you.
Don't fall over in the holes. I'll have to go get you.
Well, you gave me a compliment earlier, and then it wasn't 30 seconds. You were reeling that back in real quick, and you said, just don't worry about what I said.
That's called reality. So anyways, we're gonna set over. Since the majority of the dirt is going that way, we're gonna jump over a set here and just keep on going and then work our way on down the hill to daylight. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Couple things here real quick. You guys are watching the time lapse. You know, this is probably I think it's the third basement where Matt's helped me dig, where he's running the dozer. And I mean, I don't think it's no secret. He is not no Jerry on a dozer, but what he has done is he has kind of perfected the actual operating of the dozer as far as actually pushing dirt efficiently. That's just like one of 3 steps to being a good dozer operator. So what we had to work on with Matt on this job was 2 different things. One, with Jerry, I hardly ever have to worry about Jerry being in my way. With Matt, I had to be very conscious of where he was at all times, because he would back right up on my blind side or back right up where I'm going to dump dirt. And hitting him was a real concern. We actually I wouldn't call them close calls, but there was a couple times where we had to be thankful the Volvo had a pretty good swing brake. Let's put it that way. So, kind of talked to Matt about a little bit about that. He caught on to that pretty quick about as far as where to sit and wait on me, and how to back up and when to back and stuff like that. It's just stuff you don't really think about until you're actually out there doing it. And honestly, guys, with Jerry, I take it for granted. He does it enough. He's ran Traco enough. He's ran Dozer enough. He knows what it's like sitting in one seat or the other, so you just don't have to worry about him being in the way. The other thing is Matt did a good job of keeping the dirt out of my way, but keeping the spoil pile organized. He started kind of seeing the big picture there a little bit towards the end of the day. Everybody's always amazed about how much dirt comes out of this basement. These basements, they always think they have all kinds of room to put dirt, and you start getting down to the nitty gritty, and you have no room to put dirt. So it took a little bit of extra work on my behalf on the end to kind of get that cleaned up. But about halfway through, he kind of seen the direction we were going, and we made it work. But overall, guys, he did a really good job. I guess the point of this little conversation is, I've preached about it before, but there's a lot more to operating than just operating the machine. Setting the job up, the processes you go about, you can just save yourself so much more work in the future or as the job goes on. And then you got to learn how to play well with others. All the machines have to work together. And as you guys can see here, you can already tell from the beginning of this time lapse to the end of the time lapse how much more we're in tune and how much smoother we're digging along. So hopefully that makes sense. Well, guys, you seen it in time lapse. First pass across there was success. Success. Everything went pretty good. Matt, for the most part, kept up with the dozer. Actually, he kept up really well. The pile, on the other hand, I wouldn't quite call it organized over there. But, in his defense, it is out of my way. So we're going to go down through here. We're kind of running out of time. We didn't get started digging on this basement till almost lunch today. By the time we got everything loaded, drove here, got everything unloaded. Got everything laid off. Yada, yada, yada. So we're gonna try to get this little section here hogged out. And tomorrow when we get up here, we'll kind of fine tune grade on the bottom. The bottom of that hole is not perfect. It's within 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. But since we get this opened up, with it being a walkout, we'll get the dozer down in there. And I personally think it's always better just to leave it a tick high, to take the dozer and shave it off. The last thing you want to do is leave it low. And then you don't want to fill in underneath the footer where you don't fill. So anyways, we're going to keep on doing our thing here. And one thing Jerry is much better at doing at than Matt is staying out of my way. Like, Jerry's running an excavator enough, he knows what the swing radius is and where my blind spots are. And he's just never where he's not supposed to be. Matt, on the other hand, will be right in the way, and if you're not careful, you'll smack him. But he'll learn. He's getting there. Still digging, guys. Matt's down there. Hopefully you guys can see him right there in front. I kind of turned him loose and let him run grade a little bit there with the dozer. I'm kind of, like I said, I'm roughing in with the excavator, and then we're kind of fine tuning it with the dozer. I've been leaving it, I don't know, anywhere from an inch to a couple inches high. One thing he was doing, I always forget about, it's kind of a little bit of a rookie mistake, is he was running grade and he was doing a really good job on the right hand side. He's right-handed, so he's staring at the right hand side of the blade, but he wasn't paying attention to what the left hand side of the blade was doing. So the blade wasn't level all the way across. So gave him a little bit of coaching. It's not perfect down there. We'll have to touch it up a little bit, but he's getting the hang of it. He's getting there. I guess that's where one of these new intelligent machines with GPS would be nice, because he could just watch a green line on the dash and let the machine do the rest. But sometimes learning the old school way by feel and experience, even with the new technology, still pays off. But we're hauling the mail here pretty quick. We probably got about our half an hour, 45 minutes worth of digging. We'll have the majority of the dirt out of the hole. Probably going to call it a day, and we'll come back here tomorrow and finish her up. But we'll check in with you before the day's over. Look at there, can you guys see him? He's doing it again. He's got the right side going to town, but the left side's a little bit off. He's getting it though. Oh, now he's digging a hole. That's going to be a deep spot. Oh, now we're go-karting it. I swear, he was doing much better than that before I started videoing. Now, so if that was me, I don't know if it's hard to see on camera, but he's got a couple whoop-de-doos in there. So if it was me, I would split the tracks and angle the blade, and it'd help you straighten that back up to where you don't keep chasing yourself. So he's going to go at a different angle, which is also a good choice. And he's getting it there. There we go. Nice and easy. It is a little bit high right there. That was a good one. He's got his speed adjusted too high on his joystick up there. All right, let's go help him out. If you're cutting fine grade like that, yeah, push it more down towards 1.
Okay.
I'll keep your RPMs up, and it will keep you moving slow. Yeah. Lesson number 45 for the day. All right, back to digging. Well, boys and girls, there's what she kind of looks like at the end of the day. We're close. That's not bad for a half day digging.
I think it's great.
Well, we didn't start digging till what, 10:30?
Dang near 11, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's
We were deciding if we were going to start digging or take lunch.
all over 5 hours, 5.5 hours of digging, so we'll take that for a win. These two walls are pretty much complete. Tomorrow, whenever we get here, we have to dig this one. We'll have to measure it off and find it, but it probably goes right down through there somewhere. We'll get that dirt tossed up there, and when it's all said and done, this will be leveled off. That's going to transition down into that lower grade. Matt's kind of got us two shelves with. Yeah, we still got our one stake for the basement corner. You guys see it right there. So that'll kind of get molded over and smoothed back, and that'll all be opened up. And then that basement wall will actually continue on going for retaining wall. So some of that dirt will go down behind the dozer. But that will be tomorrow's project, because it's getting late. Sun's getting low. We're a long ways from home. So we're gonna head to the house, and we'll see you guys back here in the morning. Good morning. We are back for day number 2. Let me get you kind of caught up to speed here a little bit. So basically the last thing we have to do is dig this edge right here, and Matt and I took a few minutes this morning, and we just kind of confirmed that that was a square corner. Maybe see a couple paint marks there on the wall. We just did a quick 30, 40, 50 right there, and we're really close. Measured over and got us a parallel line here. If you notice, there's 2 sets of paint marks here because somebody painted the first one crooked. I swear it had a 7-inch bow in it, and he blamed it on doing it left-handed. I said, just start from the other end. You can do it right-handed.
The best part about it is, I'm a southpaw.
And then we erased the mark and realized we were out of paint. So day's off to a good start, but we're gonna get the machine fired up. Matt's getting the laser set up, get this last little edge dug out of here, and get grade right on the hole. And I believe Matt and his crew is going to be here in a couple hours, so let's see if we can stay ahead of them. All right, guys, we are officially set up and digging. I lost my mark. I got my track line, so I'm just going to go off it for now. Matt's over getting everything pushed off, and this is some sticky dirt, man. It sticks in the buckets. It's horrible. Jobs like this is where this Volvo really excels over the 120 for a couple different reasons. One, it's just faster. It's just faster. And 2, you're sitting in here for 6 or 7 hours at a time, it's a little more comfortable. Days like today and yesterday, I'm definitely glad I got her. But we're going to finish backing ourselves into this corner over here. And once we get that done, we'll drop the dozer down the hole there. Actually, probably won't drop it. We'll just drive it down there. Hop down the hole there. We'll run final grade on that. And hopefully that'll get us. Matt's actually taking some of that dirt and going down over the hills. We got to contour that bank there for their walkout, so they kind of mow and maintain and manage that a little bit. There was like a 70% chance of rain the last 2 days. The weather has been a little cloudy at times, but absolutely awesome. Sometimes I like it when the weatherman's wrong. Buckets we've been looking for, guys. Gonna get this corner cleaned out. A rock right there. Get this corner cleaned out. We'll hop down there with the dozer and run grade. She's looking good now. Looking good now. Here's what she looks like down the hole, guys, now that we got her all dug out. There's a little bit of a hump out there in the middle. We're pretty close all the way around the edges. So what our system usually is with the dozer is we'll come in here and work where the footers are going to be, because that's the most important, and then we'll just kind of shove everything out. This one here is really nice because it's a walkout all on the one end. If it's not a walkout all the way on the other end, sometimes it makes more sense to do it with the skid steer. I like doing it with the dozers. I got the tilt option. I just feel like I can fine tune it a little bit better, but it's all in what you're accustomed to, I guess. So probably start in this corner, work our way down, go along the back wall, work our way out. Then the center is not quite as crucial because it gets all that rock on it. We still want to get it close, but it don't have to be perfect, to say the least. Explain this here a little bit better, guys, as you see this in the time lapse. So the three walls around the edge where the actual footer of the house sits, we try to do everything we can to get that as close as possible because it really helps out the concrete, guys. The center out in the middle, it just needs to be close because it's going to end up getting 8 inches of rock in there later. So that's why you see us kind of paying a little bit of extra attention to everything around the edge here. In the middle, just make sure it's close and kind of buzz it out. Like I said, I prefer to use the dozer. If this wasn't a walkout and we actually had to get a machine down the hole, skid steer works as well. I guess it's just all what you're kind of accustomed to. Comment down below and let me know what you guys would ever use in this situation. A little dozer with a 6-way blade, or would you prefer a skid steer? I think it just kind of depends on what you're used to running, but kind of curious what your guys' first choice would be. Well, there it is, guys. We got the bottom of the hole ran in. That actually turned out pretty good for, it's got a bunch of random rocks in and some real sticky clay. It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn close for what the soil conditions are. Now it's getting the 2-foot bucket unloaded out of the back of the truck. The other mat is gonna need that to dig a frost-proof footer later. The last thing we need to do is I wanna go around the hole, kind of pull back these windrows, get that pile kind of smoothed together. Make sure we got decent drainage here so the hole don't get flooded. 2, if we can get it capped off, the dirt don't absorb water as much, so it makes it easier for the guy later. I don't know who the guy is doing final grade, but I don't want to make his job any more difficult than it needs to be. And the other thing is just access to the job site. Being able to walk around here and not trip over dirt clods and have room to stage stuff and get trucks around, it just makes a big difference. So let's hop on the machine, get that done. Well, there it is, guys. We got everything leveled off, smoothed off, looking pretty good. As you guys can see, Matt and his crew have already showed up. They're knocking out some former drain pretty quick. Got their new plumb wall braces, some new to them plumb wall braces unloaded. So I think we got her.
Yeah.
It's all yours, sir.
Boy, it tight so it doesn't come off. Man.
Well, I don't want to act ignorant, but I just learned the Pythagorean theorem.
Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared.
Matt was pushing buttons on the
Wasn't your
calculator.
dad wasn't your dad
seen it.
wasn't your dad a teacher or something?
He was an English teacher, and I can speak properly.
I can't do
When it comes
that.
to math, nope. I'm sure there's an app for that, and I'm going to find it.
So you're not a millennial, but you're gonna act like one.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh boy. Look at this beautiful hole. Isn't this nice?
This dirt is something else.
I know. I should go in the excavating business, shouldn't I?
You should. You did a good job digging.
I've been trying for years. It just hasn't worked out yet. Maybe one of these days. Well, guys, that's where we're going to leave it at. Our part of this is done for now. It is handed off to the M&R crew. They are well on their way to getting their fitters formed up. I believe they're going to pour in the morning. We may possibly be back to help them pour walls. Stay tuned for that to see what happens. But we're heading out. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, we'll catch you on the next one.